Today I'm going to run you through the basics of how to use Premiere Pro. Yeah, that's about it. I've been editing in Premiere for 12 years, so just like through what I've learned over the last 12 years, I just want to kind of show you through some basics because I know it can be a lot. So let's dive in. Wow, look at this, Premiere for the first time. First thing we're going to want to do looking at Premiere is let's pop over to a new project. All right, so with this, we got a brand new project. What do we want to do? Let's call it Learning Test 1A. Learning Test 1A. All right, sweet. So we hit OK. Here we have our main template background. Premiere offers a bunch of different options for you to pick and choose how you like it. What's really nice about Premiere is you could pretty much click and grab any one of these boxes and move them to any location that you'd like. So, you know, I got my timeline down here. Basically, if you come up to Window Workspaces, there's a ton of different options, and then this is just my default. But when you look at it, if you want to work specifically for color, if you're looking to just do audio today, a lot of different options. I like to always have my project on the side. So this is where I import my media. This is where you'll see all your different video and audio clips, your graphics, anything that you're bringing into your project. That's where I put it. You put it in your project panel. From there, this is your source panel. And then you have your program panel. You have your timeline panel down here, your toolbox panel with all your different tools, and then effects, media browser, info, different things like that. So for the sake of this video, let's get some footage up in here. So we want to import our footage. There's a couple ways to do it, but the easiest ways to do it are A and B. A, you right click, import. It's going to pull up this dialog box here. You can go through, find what you're looking for. We'll make it easy. Let's just say I'm going to pull in this footage, import. This is what I want to drop in there. Sweet. All right. So let's say we want to do that again. We pull up our Finder. We go to the external that I'm looking to pull my file off of. We grab this, click, drag, drop, and booyah. Sweet. Now we're all set there. So let's get rid of that dialog box. Just so you know, I recommend never editing off of an external hard drive. I'm doing it for the sake of this video just for now, but I do recommend putting all your footage on your actual hard drive when you're editing. The workflow will be better, rendering, saving, whatnot. So the first step would actually be to set up a new sequence. So File, New, Sequence. Simple. This is where you can set up if you want to have your sequence in 4K, if you want to do it in 2K, if you want it to be 1080p, 720p, say you want to do it vertically for Instagram stories. This is how you set up your sequence. So to make this simple, let's just say we want to do a standard 1920 by 1080p, but let's name it. Come down here, we'll name it Learn Test Sequence 1A. After our file, we hit OK. Now you can see that we have a new sequence down here. Now, let's say this clip right here, we shot this building. You can kind of scrub through it, see the shot. Oh, cool, 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 cool. Looks great. You want to look at it a little bit bigger. You can double click it and it'll come into your source panel. You can also extend your panels by clicking and dragging on the outermost part. That will allow you more space in certain panels. So, wow, look at this cool building with autumn leaves. So cool. All right, so we grab this. This is our little scrubber. We can kind of go through the footage, see what we got here. And say we only want to bring in a portion of this video. We don't want the whole thing in there. It's too long. There's a lot of crappy wobble and whatnot. We want to grab a nice 3-second clip of said video. So you come through here, you can scrub through and find exactly where you want to start. And then if you hit I on your keyboard, it is a shortcut for your in. It marks in of where you want it to begin. So you can click I. Now we have the mark in. We play through. We like it to end right there. You can either click this guy right here or simply shortcut O. marks in and out. I-O. Very simple. We're going to click and drag this right on here. So I shot this footage in 4K, but I have a 1080p timeline. So basically, Adobe's like, yo, this doesn't match. What do you want to do? Do you want to switch it to 4K or do you want to keep it at 1080p like you selected? I'm going to say let's keep the existing settings, right? We want it to be on a 1080p timeline. So this footage comes in huge. We want to downsize this. If you zoom in, you can zoom in either down here with this sliding tool. Shortcuts are minus and plus sign. Plus brings you in, minus brings you way out. You can zoom way out. It's almost like a map, right? Zooming out on Google Maps, that's the minus sign. If you want to zoom in on your location like Google Maps, this is not sponsored by Google, but it sure should be. Hit the plus sign. Come on in nice and tight. So now that we're in, we're looking at our footage. This is our video audio line. These match with each other. Video 1, audio 1. Video 1, audio 1. So let's come to our video. If we double click it, it brings up this exact footage in our source monitor, and we want to make it smaller. So up here, if we hit Effect Controls, we can come on in and see the position of where it is in our program monitor. It's centered. We can see our scale, if we want to rotate it, the opacity. Basically, all of your editing features for this specific footage is right in here. So we want to make it fit the timeline perfectly, which means 4K in half would be 50%. Type it in, hit enter, boom. Fits our timeline like a friggin' glove. We want to do a little bit of editing here. Again, this is just basics. Now that we have this, we want to zoom out. So to zoom out, we're going to click minus a couple times. We can see our full clip. And what we're going to do here, you can click and grab this little blue head. And if you click and drag, you can scrub through. You can see this shot lasts right here for 3:16, right? If you hit the space bar, it'll play right through. Whoa, whoa. What a shot. So we like it. The shot looks great. But let's say we want to cut it. If we play it through, we want to cut it before it stops moving. So at about right here. We want to cut it at 3 seconds to make it simple. That's when we're going to get into our toolbar. Tools we have easily, right? You got your selection tool. You've got your track select forward. You got ripple edit. You have your razor tool. It goes all the way down pen, hand, text. If we want to cut this right here, there are multiple ways to cut your footage. So let's zoom in, make it easy. Hit that plus sign a couple times. We want to cut it right at that 3-second mark. You can either come on over and click the razor tool, or you can hit shortcut C. C will bring up our razor. If you want to cut just the footage, not the audio, you have to click on the footage timeline. That has now split these two. However, the audio is still together. Then you would have to come down and click your audio. Now, if we hit our selection tool, V, or if you were to come up and click your arrow, you can see that we have cut both and they are separated. And you have officially done what you were looking to do. Let's say we didn't want to do that. Let's go back, hit Command Z, which is edit, undo. Hit it a couple times. It's like we haven't done anything yet. So here we are with that same clip as before. We want to cut it, but we want to cut it quick, right? You're going to hit C to bring up your razor. And if you hold Shift and click right on that blue line, it has now actually cut both of these together, making it just a little bit more seamless, a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. These are the tricks that you'll pick up as you go. But now that we have cut this and we click on our selection tool, or you hit V to bring up your little selection guy, click and drag, select both, delete, booyah. You have now successfully trimmed your clip to exactly 3 seconds. Let's zoom out Google Maps style, hit that minus sign a couple times, grab our player head back to the beginning, hit spacebar, it'll run through, 3-second clip. All right, so let's just say we wanted to throw some text on top of this for whatever reason, we're going to come into here, click our text tool, and then you're going to click right on your program monitor. With that being said, after you've clicked on your program monitor, you can now type in whatever you're looking for. Let's just call it Autumn Day, because obviously it is. Sweet. Let's come on over, grab our selection tool. Here you can see you have the ability to edit this. You can change the font if you want to make it into something a little bit cuter, whatever. You can set up your alignment. You can do tracking, make it a little bit wider. You can bold that, change your font size, change your color, whatever you want. Grab it, drop it wherever you want. Simple. You can see that this text is on the second video line, right? So we want it to last just as long as the clip. The way we're going to do that, again, grab our razor, hover it right above on that 3-second marker line, click, it is now cut. Grab our selection tool with V, click, delete, play it from the beginning. Oh my God. So let's render this to make sure it's smooth. The computer can process it a little better. If you select the O button, again, that will mark the out. This is where you want it to end. That's where that timeline will finish. So let's go to Sequence, Render into Out. The computer will do said project. Whoa, 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 whoa. So friggin' smooth. So now you have this ready to go. If you are happy with your video called Autumn Day for some strange reason this May, let's come on up to File. We're going to export the media. Another dialog box will pop up. It's like, yo, do you like your output name? I'm like, obviously, that's what I named it. So happy with it. Make sure all the boxes are good to go. We can cover that in another video, but you can see your audio setup, your video, you're happy with it. You want to render it at the maximum depth. Everything looks good. Awesome. You can see what the estimated file size would be. Export. It will now export said video, and your video is now ready to be published to the world. So these are just the basics of how to start working in Premiere Pro. Obviously, there is so much more to this program. Tell me what you want to see. If you're interested in color editing, if you're more interested in the exporting details, if you're interested in adding audio, like whatever you are looking for, hit me up, because I'll hit that up. I know it's quarantine, but grab your camera, grab some video, import it into Premiere, and start goofing around. That's how you learn. It's just by doing. Tell me what you want to learn. I'll teach you. I'm happy to. I got some free time in my day. Quarantine has definitely given me a little bit of that. So, goodbye? Question mark?